Our family left the city because Dad got a job transfer. He found this great deal on an old house in the countryside with lots of land attached. It seemed perfect, and we were excited about the change. The first few weeks flew by. We explored the vast property, set up our rooms, and enjoyed the peaceful surroundings. Lily, my little sister, began speaking of a new friend, but that shouldn't have been possible. The closest neighbors were miles away. Mom thought it was just her imagination running wild in the new place, but it felt off to me. One day, while I was playing near the tree line, I heard Lily talking to this friend. Intrigued, I cautiously approached, trying to understand. As I neared, a faint scent of rotting flesh wafted through the air, causing my stomach to churn. Lily abruptly stopped talking, looking confused. She looked back, noticing me. Upset, she said I scared her friend away. Heading back home, I couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that Lily's shy friend held a sinister secret. Slowly, even Mom started to get worried. She gathered us in the living room, her face serious. "Stay close to the house and do not go into the forest or even near it, understood?" she said, her voice firm. The night before, I overheard Dad telling Mom he heard my voice from the woods. His expression, a mix of confusion and concern, because it was while Lily and I were at school. Suddenly, one day, Lily went missing. We searched for hours, calling her name. Panic gripped Mom as she frantically called for Lily. As the daylight faded, we finally found her. She was confused about the concern, saying she was only playing with her friend. Mom and Dad hurriedly rushed us back home. That night, as I lay in bed, a distant sound reached my ears. A subtle creaking, the sound of a doorknob turning. I strained to listen, realizing that someone or something was trying to enter our home. But soon, the sound of the doorknob faded as though whoever it was gave up. Panic seized me as I heard the sound of the sliding door to the backyard open. I had forgotten to lock it when I came in. I was hiding under the covers in fear when a scream echoed through the house. It was Lily's voice. I heard Mom and Dad frantically rushing out of bed, and I followed. We headed to Lily's room. The silence was deafening. Her bedroom window was open, and Lily was nowhere to be found. We looked all around the house. Heading downstairs, it was as I feared. The back door was wide open. It was my fault that this thing gained entry into our house. Frantic shouts of Lily's name pierced the air as Mom and Dad rushed outside, their calls growing increasingly desperate. We called the police, the urgency in Mom's voice revealing her fear. The search began immediately, a race against time. Neighbors joined the search. Each passing hour deepened the void left by her absence. We kept searching. As the days went by, the harsh reality began to set in. Lily was gone. The police offered condolences, but served us the horrifying reality that it would be almost impossible for a child to survive this long in the forest on her own. Mom clung to the hope that Lily might return, but as weeks passed, even she could not deny it. She kept a watchful eye on me, and Dad did his best to act like everything was normal. I ventured out of the house much less, but curiosity gnawed at me. Lily's absence had made our house feel empty. One evening, as we sat in the living room, Dad decided to investigate the woods again. Hopeless as it seemed, Dad would not stop trying, and Mom didn't have the heart to stop him. As Mom and I sat in the living room, I found myself drawn to the window, peering outside. Suddenly, the familiar voice of Lily echoed from outside, breaking the tense silence. "Come play with me," she giggled. It sent shivers down my spine. Mom and I looked outside as we saw Dad suddenly bolt in the direction of the voice. Mom's face paled. She ran to open the front door. but Dad was already gone. Unable to stay put, I dashed towards the door. The night was unusually still, a thick fog creeping in from the forest. I called out for Dad, but my voice was swallowed by the oppressive silence. Mom grabbed my arm, her eyes wide with terror. "We can't let him go alone. We need to find him." We armed ourselves with flashlights, heading into the forest, the weak beams cutting through the fog as we ventured in. The distant voice of Lily continued to draw us in deeper. The woods seemed to close in around us, our house fading in the distance. As we pressed forward, the air was heavy with the stench of death and decay. We stumbled upon a cave. Dad stood at the entrance, seemingly frozen, facing away from us. Lily's voice echoed from behind him. We knew it wasn't possible. She couldn't have survived. Not this long, not here. Reluctantly, Mom and I followed Dad. As we delved into the cave, the walls seemed to close in around us, and soon our flashlights revealed a gruesome sight. Bones scattered on the cave floor, and not just animals. Human bones. Horror gripped us. It became apparent that Lily's disappearance and this cave were linked. Lily's voice, now coming from behind us, taunted us from the darkness. "We can all be a family again. Just come a little closer."